Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by trainer Frank Greaves here after David Adeley's successful victory. Round 4 stoppage, headlining shows. He's on to something special.
Yeah. Listen, it's a tough one for me, obviously, because I've seen what he's done week in, week out in the gym over the last 18 months. I think what you saw tonight was sort of the first sort of rumblings of his identity coming out. He took his time, he picked his punches, and you could see how obviously sort of destructive he is when he actually does land and let his hands go. Look, let's have it right. Musel's been stopped before, so the guy's not got a cast iron chin, but it was pretty durable. He's only been stopped by decent lads. Was had quite a vast amateur career, so he knew what he was doing in there. And yeah, we knew we had 8 rounds. You know, the plan going into the fight was you don't need to rush it. Look, he could have gone in there like he did with Dmitry Kalinovsky on his debut and gone in there and thrown 300 punches in the first round and probably stopped that guy. But you don't want to do that. What we're trying to do is develop into a 12-round fighter. And that means you've got to take your time. I think if I'm being ultimately critical tonight, there was probably times where he could have put his foot down a little bit more without going full throttle. You know what I mean? Just a few more punches in bunches. But again, that will come over time. And look, everyone forgets. Obviously, there's a lot of hype around him because of the sparring and whatever else. But the fact is, that was only his 8th fight tonight. That was his first 8 rounder, for Christ's sake. So let's actually just analyse it for what it is. You know, it was a good amateur. David won a lot, but he only had 30 amateur bouts as well. So it's not shitloads of experience there. But we've mixed it with literally everyone in the gym. And it's okay doing it in the gym. I know it's different on fight night, but as I say, tonight, I think what you saw was the first sort of rumblings of the identity that we're looking to develop and looking to bring out of him.
Is that something that you're often doing, kind of grounding him in case he gets ahead of himself, just letting him know that he's still early on, and just because he can knock most people that he's in there with 7 out of 8, you know, there's still a long way to go? Yeah,
again, look, on a daily basis in the gym, right? Look, again, what a lot of people sort of fail to understand is, as an amateur, David's style was completely different. It was hands up, walk forward, meet you in the middle of the ring. I'm gonna hit you harder and faster than you're gonna hit me, right? That is not a way for a 6'5" guy who's 16.5 stone to fight 19 stone heavyweights. You can't fight like that for 12 rounds. It's impossible. So we've had to literally break his style completely down and then build him back up. And as I said, what you're seeing now is you're starting to see the fruits of the labour from the last 18 months coming out. So again, doing it when there's no eyes on you in the gym and it's nice and relaxed, it's different on fight night when the pressure's there, the media's there, the cameras are on you. But slowly, again, look, he's only 24. He's a young heavyweight, you know. He's not taking a lot of shots. He barely took a shot tonight. I think a couple of times he got clipped, but you know, you get in the shower, you get wet. Yeah, I was. I'm not going to say I was impressed with the performance because I know that there's a hell of a lot more to come. We're just scratching the surface, but it was definitely a big improvement on stuff we've seen before.
How did the Sokolowski fight, the controversial win, obviously, how did that change the approach to fights?
It didn't change at all because, again, we knew what we was doing in the gym. We knew what direction we was going in. I'm not going to call it an anomaly because it is what it is. That's what happens, you know. If West Ham go and get beat 3-0 at the weekend, they've got beat 3-0. You know, you can call it a bad performance. It was a bad performance. We're not going to lie about it. But I think everyone involved in the team is intelligent enough. We can look at the reasons why. And not to make an excuse, but there was a couple of little things that, you know, wasn't quite right and we won't do again. And, you know, onwards and upwards, you move on. Look, no one's going to look back. When David's fighting for X title or Y title in 2 years, no one's going to look back 17 fights ago and say, oh, you know, it was a struggle against Sokolowski. You know, it is what it is. And do you know what? Actually, those things keep you grounded. It's things like that. If you're going in there and you're 8-0 with 8 knockouts and then you're 15-0 with 15 KOs, you start believing the hype, you start believing the power. So it's nice to keep grounded every now and again. But, again, like I say, from my perspective, I see what he's capable of, and it's just a case of getting that little bit more out of him every fight. And tonight, I think, was an example of what we're trying to do.
What is he capable of in the next year then? Because he's called out Nathan Gorman. He's happy to fight anyone, but as the trainer, like, how soon do you think we can see him fight bigger and better names?
I was asked that question downstairs, and we literally, I'm going to take it on a fight by fight basis. That was our first 8 rounder, right? And he stopped the guy at the end of 4. Look, realistically, I want to see David get dragged in a little bit. I want to see him lose a couple more rounds. I want to see him get clipped. I want to see him under a little bit of pressure. At 24 years of age, there's no reason to go and fight Nathan Gorman next week. Look, let's have it right. Not just David, but fighters are fighters. Fighters are fighters for a reason. They've all got a screw loose, right? And they all want to fight anyone. That's what they want to do. Yeah, I'll fight him. Look, let's be real. David still is an 8-fight novice. Yeah. The trouble is, it's going to be hard to hold him back because of how good he is in the gym and the kind of calibre of fighter that he's sparring on a regular basis. But that's going to be my job. That's going to be the management's job. Look, again, if we get offered a fight with whoever this time next year, and it's right, and we've had a couple of good performances, and we're improving on what we've done tonight, then you know what? If we feel we're ready, we're ready. I'm not going to put a timescale on it and say, right, by this time we want to fight that fighter, because it doesn't work like that. Fighting doesn't work like that. He could go in next week and hurt his hand, or anything's possible. So it's literally a fight by fight basis. Let's get a few more rounds under our belt. Let's carry on making these improvements, and then see where we are in a year's time. If there's a title vacant, I mean, even looking at the British area at the moment. Look, Joyce has got that title. He's not going to defend it. And you've got Gorman, you've got Wardley, you've got a few people, Cash Ali, you've got a few people that are not in terms of ability, but in terms of fights and experience, are a level or two above David. They've had that few more fights. They've had title fights. They've been boxing 10 and 12 rounders already. So they're going to be in line for the British first. Do we want to go? You know what? We'll wait our turn. It's no problem. We've got time. And if it's right in a year's time for us to go and fight whoever it may be, we all know the names in the British heavyweight division. If it's right, then we'll take the fight. No problem at all.
But of course, the things we say are all things that could happen in the future. But you have to admit he's in a very good position.
Oh yeah, listen, absolutely. Look, I've been a trainer for 12 years. Seen a lot of fighters. Been obviously to world level with Gary Corcoran. I've kind of been there, seen it, and done it to a degree. In terms of potential, there's not many prospects in the country that have got more potential than David. There's not many trainers that are turning him down, given the opportunity to fight, given the opportunity to train him. So yeah, look, everything is there. It's going to be my job, obviously, to just help him go out there and show it on fight night, which I'm pretty sure I'm capable of doing. He's just got to go and do the same thing on fight night. And
just on more of a personal note for yourself, how exciting is it just to have someone like this in your stable with a lot of hype, a lot of attention around him, headlining shows, of course, as well?
Listen, I'm not going to lie. It's what you want. It's literally what you want. Everyone wants a heavyweight. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, I've worked with a lot of fighters that put their life and soul into the game and don't get the exposure and don't get the stuff that the heavyweights get. But yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. As from a training perspective, it's great. You get a bit of media. It's what you come into the game for. And everyone wants a heavyweight. Everyone's waiting for the next Ricky Hatton or the next Frank Bruno or the next. And at the moment, it looks like I've got him. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to ride it, and we'll go all the way to the top together.
How did the link-up come about then a while back?
Well, I actually worked with David as a cut man and a hand wrapper for his first fight. And we clicked straight away pretty much. Started talking about fights and tactics and training techniques and whatever else. And with the blessing of his original trainer, we started doing a few sessions together, and it just kind of organically developed over a few months. And then I got the call. Would I like to be the full-time head coach? I've got Eddie Kelly, who's around here somewhere over there. That miserable sausage. He come in, Ed. Eddie.
You are the best-looking cornerman.
Well,
I am. Sorry, yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, so again, like it's that little team. It's always nice to have an extra pair of eyes in there. And the good thing is we're all realists. None of us walked away after the Sokolowski fight. None of us walked away after the Marnev fight or the Matt Gordon fight and went, yeah, champ, brilliant. Oh yeah. We all look at it. We all look at the good, the bad, the ugly. We'll sit there. We'll be honest with each other. What do we think we need to work on? And there's an openness that you need. This game's, excuse my language, but fucking brutal. And if you're not going to address the misgivings and the failings, you're going to get hurt.
Don't be yes man and don't bullshit him. You know what I mean? To tell him exactly how it is, how he performed. His last performance here, he didn't box great. He got the win. It was close, but we got the win. It don't matter. He'll move on. He'll come back. I'm sure he might meet him down the line. It don't matter. And he'll prove his point then. But he's getting better with every fight, and he's only a baby. A lot of people think he should be fighting this guy. Listen, take his time. He's only young. He's only young. That's why he needs Frank around him, tell him how it is. A lot of people go, fight him. Just let him enjoy himself. You know, he's enjoying himself. Let him. And tonight's performance was a lot better than the Soccer House one, but it was nowhere near the full what we see in the gym. So.
No, it's just scratching the surface, aren't we? We literally, honestly, I would say like 40-50% of what he's capable of. Like honestly.
I've got a question that any you guys can chip in on. Obviously, you're known for being a knockout artist, but how important is it in training for you to get that knockout? Do you look in there and think it's only a great performance if I've got the knockout? How important is the knockout to you?
Listen, mate. I mean, one thing about me is I'm humble, and Frank keeps me grounded, Ed keeps me grounded, Ben keeps me grounded. These ain't people that, if I perform shit, mate, I'm gonna know I perform shit. I got people around me that tell me all the time. So I mean, I'm knocking people out in sparring. Probably shouldn't be saying it, but I am. And like my coach says, go out there and learn. It's not about knocking everybody else. Because some people you're gonna hit, they ain't gonna get knocked out. So you wanna go out there and learn. So it's just about learning. And I think I go in there and I try to learn every time. So in the gym I do certain things. I mean, Frank's man that's been away before me, so I listen to him, you know, and I knew the knockout was going to come today, not to be arrogant. I knew it was going to come, just about how it came. I think in my other fights I was rushing too much. This fight I was a bit too patient. Okay. So just about finding the right balance. But like my coach said, look, it's about learning it. It's one thing doing it in the gym, another thing doing it in the amateurs, and you got to learn it in the pros. So I'm just climbing up the ladder in the pros.
When you walk to the ring, when your name's getting called out, when you're standing in the ring about to fight, you look angry, don't you? Is it just you motivating yourself in your head?
Oh, my dick gets hard.
That's just his resting bitch face. He's just got one of them resting bitch faces. It's just unfortunate.
No, I'm just ready to fight. Come here, Jason. What's he doing? Sitting down. I mean, I know he is ugly, but no, you know what it is? I'm in the change rooms, I'm getting warm and stuff, and then when it comes into the fight, I'm like, oh, it's here now. You know, it's a dust up. I can't wait. So I just soak it in, and I enjoy it. Like my coaches around me, they tell me, you gotta enjoy it. You know, just before I went to start the round, after the referee said, Ed's gone up to me and said, enjoy it. You know what I mean? This is your job, man. This is what you love. And I'm a different fighter, and I always enjoy it. I always enjoy fighting, though. I mean, if I'm fighting, you're going to see me smiling beforehand. I'll smile before and I'll smile after. And yeah, man, I like fighting.
If you didn't know already, David Adeleye likes fighting.
Yeah, man, if you didn't know, David Adeleye likes fighting. So if there's any problems, call me. And I'm sure to have a duster with you boys.
Now, this is the second prospect show on BT Sport. Obviously, it looks to be going well so far. When do you want to kind of say to Frank and everyone, I'm more than a prospect now, you want to be on bigger and better shows? Because it was a big show tonight, it was a good show, but obviously it's for the younger up-and-coming fighter.
I've already had 8 fights. I'll fight these boys now. Look, like I said, I keep saying it.
This is what I mean.
The fella I was meant to fight today pulled out. He was ranked top 50 in the world. He pulled out. So, yeah, I mean, look, I leave it to the people around me. I got a coach, I got management, I got a promoter.
Exactly that.
And like you said, building my craft. These boys know what I do in the gym. They know what I do out the gym. So it's about learning.
Brilliant. And with Frank by your side, maybe you should compliment him a bit now. But how do you think he helps you in training?
Man, I love Frank. I think me and Frank's got a different.
Body shot, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I think me and Frank's got a different sort of relationship to most fighters because
Frank likes to be on time. Frank stays on time usually.
No, me and Frank's a bit. It's deeper than a boxing friendship. I mean, Frank's he's like an uncle to me, innit? I mean, I can speak to the man about life lessons and stuff. He gives me life lessons. He teaches me certain things that have nothing to do with boxing. So it's deeper than boxing with him. I can talk to the man about anything. I mean, look, he's one of the family. You got Jason. What's wrong with Jason? You got.
Frank teaches me things, but they're not about boxing.
There you go.
He just got a wrong mind. That's what he is. That's what his problem is. But yeah, man. I mean, Frank knows what he is. Anyways, he always gives me a bollocking. He cusses me every session. So yeah.
No, I don't mean it, sweetie.
I like to say thank you to Frank Greaves, Eddie Kelly, and my SSC coach, Ben Greaves. And I got my cut man, Jason. But he's camera shy.
He's like the Hulk.
It's too hench to get on.
That's it.
That's Dave's sparring partner.
So I'm my security. But Yeah, man. I mean, big up everyone here. They probably don't want to go on camera. I got my brother and that, and one thing about my brother is he never wants to go on camera ever. He's behind the scenes. He doesn't do none of that other stuff. No social media. I've got a good team around me, man, and everyone keeps me grounded. So.
I think this is the last thing I want to say, but I think that's really important, obviously being so young, to keep grounded. We mentioned before you came on, and then you've mentioned, without knowing we spoke about it, keeping grounded. Is that something that you're constantly aware of? Don't get too ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I never do, man. I'm humble. You know, when it's all said and done, they're going to throw you back to the road you came from. So I stay grounded, and I remember where I've come from. I remember my roots. I mean, look, I haven't even done nothing in a pro game yet. There's many more years to come. I'm 24. I mean, these cameras are going to be seen for at least another 10 years. So they better get used to it, man.
Thinking of millions.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So you're going to see the same people on the way out when you come down.
Simple,
isn't it?
I mean, everyone's got something to say, innit? Goes back to the same me and Frank love to say. Opinions are like arseholes, everyone's got one.
Good way to end it.